I'm Dr. Heather Kritzia, and I'm going to be teaching the Peace Education online course this semester here at the University for Peace in Costa Rica. And hopefully a lot of you will be joining us from all over the world to talk about the topic of theory and practice of peace education. And the course will be 9 weeks long. The idea is that we work from a Freirean pedagogical perspective, so using the work of Paulo Freire, which talks about the importance of dialogue and the value of the student-teacher, teacher-student relationship, in that it's not just the teacher's job to impart knowledge, but that all of us as part of a learning community have something to share. So the goal for our 9 weeks together is to get to know each other and to learn from each other about what peace education might mean in each of our contexts, and then to think about how we might impart peace education in those contexts. So for example, we'll talk about the different types of content of peace education, which is usually dependent on the region that you're working in and what the priorities are in that space. So sometimes it's multicultural education, development education, perhaps the focus would be on disarmament or intercultural understanding. There's human rights education is very popular, particularly in Latin America. So we'll talk about that aspect, which I call education about peace, the things that you need to learn from a book. Then we also have education for peace, which are the skills and values that are necessary to live in a culture of peace. If you haven't heard of a culture of peace before, don't worry about it. That's a topic that we'll cover in the course as well. So education for peace entails things like empathy, respect. What does respect actually mean? How do we show respect for each other and for the environment? What kind of skills do we need to live in a culture of peace? Like conflict resolution skills or nonviolent communication skills. And then education by peace is the final component of the course, which is the pedagogy, the ways in which we teach and arrange our teaching and learning spaces. For example, you might be organizing a facilitation of a workshop. How do you set up the chairs? Why do you set them up that way? What are you trying to say to the community that you're working with? And what do you want them to be able to say to you? How do you create a safe space for dialogue? And that's really important to peace education as well. The actual doing of the work, and how do we, through our work, show people that we're practicing what we preach, shall we say. So those are our main topics for the 9 weeks. The assignment for the course will be a teaching and learning plan that's relevant to your context. So are you working in an NGO? Would you like to facilitate a workshop? Okay, then that's what your teaching and learning plan will be about. Are you in formal education? Are you a teacher? All right, so what could your lesson plan look like? The idea being that we want to make sure that the course is as relevant to you as possible. I look forward to meeting you all, and until then, take care.